examine my own feelings about death and mortality and illness and
Before she became a household name, Julie Andrews' life was anything but a fairy tale. Born in 1,935 inches, Walton-on-Thames, England, she faced hardships from the start. Her parents' marriage was tumultuous, and her stepfather, Ted Andrews, brought both musical opportunity and personal torment into her life. By the age of 9, Julie was already performing on stage to help support her family. But what was hidden behind her talent and charm were painful secrets that shaped her resilience. Ted's alcoholism led to dark moments, including attempts to enter her bedroom when drunk, forcing Julie to grow up quickly. Despite this, she became a star by the age of 12, performing for the royal family. Little did the world know, this young girl with a 4-octave voice was battling personal demons that would later be revealed in shocking detail. What truly happened behind the scenes? The truth is even more shocking. From vaudeville to Broadway, Julie Andrews' journey to stardom wasn't a smooth, glamorous ride. It was born from sheer determination and a remarkable talent that was both a blessing and a burden. From the age of 9, Julie was thrust into a world where her childhood was sacrificed for the sake of survival. Instead of playing with friends or attending school, she was performing in vaudeville shows, standing on beer crates to reach the microphone. Despite the struggles, her voice stood out, a rare 4-octave range that captivated audiences and earned her a reputation early on. But this early success came with its dark side. At home, Julie faced an abusive environment. Her stepfather, Ted Andrews, was an alcoholic who subjected her to traumatic experiences. In her memoir, she opens up about the haunting moments when Ted attempted to enter her bedroom while intoxicated. To protect herself, she was forced to lock her door at night. These formative years shaped her into the woman she would become, tough, resilient, and determined to escape the confines of her painful childhood. Yet, despite the emotional toll, Julie's work ethic and extraordinary talent led her to more significant opportunities. At just 12, she performed before the royal family. By 13, she made her West End debut, an impressive achievement for someone so young. By the mid-1952s, Julie's career was on a steady rise. But it wasn't just her singing that made her stand out. It was her ability to command attention on stage and bring a certain magic to her performances. However, Broadway was just the beginning. In 1954, she moved to New York and starred in The Boyfriend, marking her first major Broadway production. But it was 1956's My Fair Lady that would truly launch her into the spotlight, making her a household name and setting her up for the Hollywood stardom she would soon embrace. Yet, the real challenges were just beginning. Julie had no idea that the price of fame would involve more than just endless applause. It would demand her personal strength in ways she never expected. The road to Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music. In 1964, Julie Andrews was about to make her Hollywood debut in a role that would define her career forever. Walt Disney, who had seen her perform in Broadway productions, cast her as Mary Poppins, the beloved nanny. It was a move that would not only change her life, but also redefine the genre of musical cinema. But as much as she had prepared for Broadway, nothing could have prepared Julie for the whirlwind that Mary Poppins would become. The film was a massive hit, and Julie's portrayal of the practically perfect nanny won her the Academy Award for Best Actress. It was a perfect match. Her elegance, her sweetness, and her unmistakable voice made her the perfect Mary Poppins, and audiences around the world fell in love. However, there was one setback. Julie Andrews was snubbed for the role of Eliza Doolittle in the film adaptation of My Fair Lady, a part she had made famous on stage. Instead, Audrey Hepburn was cast in the role. Many saw this as a snub, but it would prove to be the best thing that ever happened to Julie. Mary Poppins was her true breakthrough into the film industry, and it launched her into a stratosphere of fame and fortune that she never could have imagined. The following year, she starred in The Sound of Music, another box office hit that cemented her status as an international icon. The film, set against the stunning Austrian backdrop, featured Julie as Maria, a young nun who becomes a governess for a widower's 7 children. With its heartwarming songs and beautiful scenery, the film became one of the most beloved films of all time. But as much as these films brought her fame, they also locked her into a certain image, one of wholesomeness, sweetness, and purity. Julie, who had spent years as a struggling artist, now had to contend with the public perception of her as the perfect, prim figure. She didn't want to be typecast, and though she loved the roles, Julie knew she couldn't play sweet and proper forever. The pressure of being the embodiment of perfection weighed heavily on her, and it would take her years to break free from the constraints that the public had placed on her. But she was ready. Julie had built a reputation as the girl next door, but now it was time for her to embrace a new, more complex version of herself. Would she break free from this idealized image, or would the demands of her fame force her to play the part for the rest of her life? The next chapter of Julie's story would push her into uncharted territory, and it would involve a willingness to take risks and step out of her comfort zone. Life beyond the screen, the price of fame and personal loss. The 1,970 seconds were a decade of reinvention for Julie Andrews. While she had found fame and adoration, the pressures of Hollywood stardom were beginning to take their toll. Her personal life, too, was far from perfect. She had experienced the heartbreak of her first marriage to Tony Walton, ending in 1967. Although they remained close friends and co-parents to their daughter Emma, the split was painful. But just as her marriage ended, a new chapter in her love life began. In 1969, Julie met Blake Edwards, the renowned director behind Breakfast at Tiffany's and the Pink Panther films. Their first meeting was hardly romantic. Julie says they crossed paths at a therapist's office, but something clicked between them. Their bond quickly deepened, and after a 2-year courtship, they married. Julie and Blake's relationship wasn't without its challenges. Blake had his own struggles, including health issues, depression, and emotional turbulence, but Julie was there every step of the way. In their marriage, Julie had to balance her flourishing career with Blake's health challenges. Despite the difficulties, they formed a deep, loving partnership. Julie was by Blake's side during his various medical treatments, always supporting him. Yet, just when it seemed like their lives had settled into a routine, tragedy struck. In 2010, Blake passed away from pneumonia, leaving a massive void in Julie's life. She had been his caretaker, partner, and confidant, and his loss was immeasurable. But despite the heartache, Julie carried on. She had to. Her career, which had faced a major hurdle with vocal surgery in 1997, had taken an unexpected turn. Julie had lost her singing voice after a surgery to remove non-cancerous nodules from her vocal cords. It was a devastating blow for someone whose entire career had been built on her vocal talent. Yet, Julie didn't give up. She reinvented herself once again, taking on voice acting roles, including the popular Shrek series as Queen Lillian. Julie's ability to pivot and thrive, even after losing something so personal and so integral to her identity, spoke to her unyielding spirit. But there were still secrets to reveal secrets about her career, her character, and her own surprising experiences that would leave fans in shock. Julie Andrews has always been synonymous with elegance, grace, and family-friendly charm. But in her memoir, Homework, she reveals a much more mischievous side to herself. Behind the prim and proper image of Mary Poppins, there was a playful and cheeky personality, one that the world had never fully seen. While working on Mary Poppins, her first husband, Tony Walton, who was also the film's costume designer, pointed out something intriguing about her character. "I fancy that Mary Poppins has a secret life, a kind of quiet pleasure at being a little wicked and naughty." These small design choices in her costume reflected this hidden side coral linings and brightly colored petticoats beneath her neat, buttoned-up appearance. This revelation about Mary Poppins having a playful side wasn't just a nod to the character, it was Julie's way of owning the fact that there was more to her than just the sweet and wholesome roles she had become known for. Julie shared in her memoir that even she had moments of naughtiness, and she wasn't afraid to admit it. Her ability to express this side of herself in such a candid way was both refreshing and shocking to her fans. But that wasn't the only thing that shocked the world. In 1981, Julie Andrews took a bold step that would challenge everything fans thought they knew about her. In the film S.O.B., she appeared topless for the first time in her career, shocking fans who had grown up seeing her as the epitome of family-friendly cinema. While many were stunned, Julie saw this as an opportunity to break free from the image that had been imposed on her for years. It was her way of showing the world that she was more than the good girl roles she had played. She was a multifaceted woman with depth, humor, and complexity. Julie's career is far from over. Even at 89, she continues to surprise and inspire. Through her memoir, Julie Andrews opens up in ways fans never expected, revealing a life that was much more layered, daring, and real than they ever knew. As she continues to carve her path, it's clear that the legend of Julie Andrews is not defined by just her iconic roles, but by the courage to reveal her true self, flaws and all. The death of Blake Edwards in 2010 left a profound emptiness in Julie Andrews' life. Their deep bond, both personal and professional, had been a constant source of support for Julie through countless challenges. Blake had been her rock, especially as he struggled with chronic health issues, and his passing was an immense loss. For Julie, this loss wasn't just emotional. It was a loss of the partner who had shared so much of her journey, both in and out of the spotlight. Despite this heartbreak, Julie continued to thrive in her career, proving her resilience once again. She remained a beloved figure in the entertainment world, making notable contributions as an actress, author, and advocate. Her journey after Blake's passing was one of reflection, finding strength in the memories they shared. Through it all, Julie Andrews' legacy is one of perseverance, love, and an unwavering commitment to her art and family. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's hidden truths, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the shocking stories we have lined up. Leave a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And share this video with fellow movie lovers who need to know the secrets of Hollywood.